Hey everyone, this is Kansas Lone Man here, and today I'm going to review a TikTok and respond about paying off a mortgage. Now, she's got a great concept about paying off a mortgage and how much you're going to save, but the math is not mathing. So, are we really paying off the mortgage, and how are we going to do that? let's take a look. It's interesting what I've heard so far. I think you're going to like this. So here we go.
Are we saving an interest by paying off our house over 25 years early? That's the question that we keep on getting. And since we're officially done paying interest on our mortgage, I'm going to show you exactly how much we are saving. First off, this is the amortization schedule. If we had paid the minimum for the 30 years, if you don't know what that is, basically they can pre-schedule how much you are going to pay towards the principal and how much will go towards the interest in every single payment. If I just highlight the interest column, it'll add it up for me. $131,523 is how much we would have paid in interest if we paid the minimum for 30 years. On the other hand,
okay, let's stop right there. Okay, I'm assuming they paid around $250,000 for the house because she doesn't really say that. And yes, that is an amortization schedule. And yes, it will tell you the total of your payments if you add it up. And you're going to see here coming up what the mortgage payment is. If you want a really simple way to figure out how much you're going to pay between principal and interest, because this is really simple. You take the total of the payment and you multiply it by 30 years, which is 360 payments because they're on a 30-year note. So 360 times the amount of the payment. That's how much you're going to end up paying for that house. And if you want to know how much the interest really was, you take the total of that. Now that's whatever the payment is multiplied by 360 times. And then you minus the price of the home. That tells you how much interest you paid. It's really, really simple. Get a hold of me if you went through that a little fast. But let's hear what else she's got to say. We're on a good track here, but there's a couple things that just go awry on this math. Listen to this.
I do track every payment that we've made on our mortgage since the beginning. And so if I highlight the interest column on all of the years, then I'll get the total of interest that we have paid. This is 2020, 2021, 2022, 23, 24, and lastly 25. So I went ahead and added that all up, and this is what it totals. So in the 4 years and 9 months that we've been in our house, this is a total amount that we paid in interest, $20,437. So if I take the total amount that we were supposed to pay minus the amount.
Okay, let's stop there. Now she's adding up the interest paid over the 5 years. Now, again, we talked about what it's going to take to show how much interest there is. And let's do a little bit of math on this whole thing. And I don't know if anybody caught this yet, but it shows how much their payment was on the amortization schedule. It was $1,100 a month. So I want to make some quick math here. Let's take $1,100. Let's multiply that by 360 months, which is 30-year mortgage, which is what we're talking about. The total of that is you guys can see this, right? $396,000. And here's what is interesting. You take the $250,000 out of that, which was the price of the home. That leaves $146,000, not $110,000. So the math isn't mathing here. And this TikToker is an individual who talks about being out of debt and financial wellness and that kind of thing. Guys, if you're going to do this, the math has got to math. So let's go ahead and let her continue on this and just see what she's going to talk about.
Amount that we actually paid, we've saved $111,086.13 by paying off our house over 25 years early. For context, our interest rate is
okay. So she paid $20,000 over the first 5 years and some change. So actually, what was the number we came up with? It 396 approximately minus the price of the home of $250. That's $146,000. So again, she actually saved about $126 if she paid it off in 5 years. Now, I'm not knocking that, but there's an issue here. The math doesn't math. Now, listen to what she has to say. She also doesn't say how they're paying it off and how quickly they're paying it off and how they're doing it. You got to pay an astronomical amount to get that house paid off that quick. This is wild. Good advice. Pay your house off. But how? How are you going to do that? You get an extra $1,000 a month over 5 years. That's only $60,000. You have to pay off $250,000 of principal to be able to do that over that 5 year time frame. Now, basic math, 5 years, that's a lot. $50,000 a year, because 5 times 5 is 25. So they're paying $50,000 extra dollars a year. We're going to talk about this when this video is over.
3%. There's a lot of things that we could do with that amount of money that's going to get us even further in life, not paying a mortgage for the unforeseeable future. How much money are we?
That's fascinating. Okay, so all right, yeah. I'm going to get rid of that video there. Now, okay, let's think about this. Now, you're talking about her having to put 50 grand a year onto that mortgage to pay it off in 5 years. Boy, that'd be great, wouldn't it? We all had an extra $50,000 to do that with. Now, let's do a little math, and we're going to go back to some of the principles that I've had, because this isn't bad information to pay your house off, but what's really bad information is thinking that you're going to have an extra 50K a year to do this. Let's pretend that you have an extra 50K a year. Let's pretend. And let's pretend you put this with a financial planner that on average can double that in about 8 years, which is not out of line, by the way. Okay. So you give them $50,000. Okay. And let's say they double that in 8 years. Now we're talking about the first year only of 50,000 extra money. Let's just say that you do it over the full 5 years, you give them 50. On year 10, guess how much you're going to have? At least double that, because let's back up here. $50,000 in 1 year. By year 8, you're going to have $100,000 if you put no more money with that. Okay. So if you're actually saving $50,000 a year over a 5-year period, that's $250,000. If you only take the first year of $50,000 and over that 8-year period, they double that, you're going to have $350,000. Now, I know I'm adding an extra 3 years onto this thing, but it's for the easy part of the math to say in 8 years, if you double your money, which again, with a good financial planner can work. I've got contacts if you need them. Get a hold of me. I don't financial plan, but I know guys that do that are very good, outstanding at what they do with your money to grow that money. So you're looking at $350,000 over 8 years. You only needed $250,000. So even paying taxes from that money to withdraw it, you're still looking at having a nice chunk of change, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, more than what you gave the first year to pay the house off. So imagine again that doubling rule. You were at $250,000. Let's say that, some of that money, you've accumulated enough, it's going to double again. You're probably sitting on close to $500,000 by the time this thing is done. And so when you're looking at, I'd say 4.25 is probably a safe bet over that 8 years. $425,000. I'm not telling you not to pay your house off. Use what you have smart, invest it with someone who knows what they're doing to help you increase your money. What pays your house off faster? $50,000 or $50,500? $50,500. The extra $500 pays it off faster. So we're talking about accumulating money and allowing you to have a nest egg left over from that money that you were going to use to pay that house off. Because if you put that $50,000 on that house for 5 years, guess what it does? It sits there earning you no interest. When if you put that in a financial planner's hands, put it in a CD and accumulate that money there. You'll have more money faster to pay the house off. And if you set that same 5-year time frame, you'll have money left over when you're done to do other things with, to pay off debts, to live without a mortgage the rest of your life, and actually have a nest egg setting there to invest for your retirement. To do again, I'm not telling you not to pay off the house, because just the stress alone of not having a house payment, the stress of having a house payment, the stress lifted of not having a house payment. I'm not telling you to not pay your house and invest that money for 30 years. That's ridiculous. How about we just be smart with what we have? Again, math has to math. And we're talking about the power and the leverage of money. That's what we're talking about here. So Candace Lowman, I'm here to help you talk about money, how to leverage your money to make it work for you, and how to use what's available to you to get out of this debt even faster than what they're talking about, if you have the wherewithal to do it. I just want to know how we got that $50,000 per year. That's really what I want to know, to get that loan paid off in 5 years. That's what I really want to know here. We're never going to know that, are we? If you have money to go extra on the house, though, get a hold of me. Let's run some numbers before you do, and let's look at how it could benefit you for life and get your house paid off. Candace Lowman here. Go ahead, like, subscribe. If you have questions, get a hold of me. It's CandaceLowman.com. My information's there. Like it, share it, and watch the next 2 videos coming up right here.